I'd like to call the meeting of the Plaquemines Parish Council for August 8th, 2024 to order at 2:04 p.m. Machines are open for roll call. Let the record reflect 7 council members are present. Dr. Gui will be absent today. He is sick, and Mr. LaFrance is running late, so he'll be here shortly. At this time, we'll rise for the prayer led by Ms. McCarty and pledged by Councilmember Champagne.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. We take this moment to acknowledge Almighty God. Thank Him for our bountiful blessings, especially the parish's natural resources. We give thanks to God for our brave and courageous men and women in our military who daily risk their lives to protect our precious freedom, and we pray for our world leaders to know how to obtain world peace. We pray that this government body comprised of both council and administration will always serve our parish with honesty, humility, and equality to all. And as this government body gathers here today, we pray for the wisdom to know the right from wrong and the courage to do that which is right. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to remind everybody, please silence your cell phones. Next item, please.
Item 2, executive session, there is none. Item 3, proclamations. A proclamation declaring August 8th, 2024 as Isabel Melvina Sayas I Love You Day in the parish of Plaquemines. Councilmember Jurisic.
Offered by Mr. Any objections? Offered by Mr. Jurisic, unanimous second.
Whereas Miss Isabel Melvina Sayas, affectionately known and called Miss Melvina Sayas, was a lifelong resident of Plaquemines Parish and one of our greatest educators and school board administrators. Whereas Miss Melvina Sayas, a proud daughter of the community of Oakville, she graduated from Scottville High School and later received a master's degree plus 30 hours from Southern University. Whereas Miss Melvina Sayas' 43-year career in education began as a teacher at Sunrise High School, where she later moved to Belle Chase High School and taught English and became principal of Belle Chase High School. Whereas Miss Melvina Sayas' 43 years as a Plaquemines Parish educator included several roles within the Plaquemines Parish School Board. Whereas Miss Melvina Sayas' greatest contribution was improving education excellence and achievement for all Plaquemines children. Whereas Miss Melvina Sayas was a living example of the Christian teaching, we are all God's children and love thy neighbor as thyself. Whereas Ms. Melvina Sayas would never let anyone leave from her presence without saying, I love you. That's it.
Any comments from the audience on the proclamation? Yes, sir, Mr. Henry.
We call her Miss Sayas. This lady was one of a kind. One of a kind. Belle Chase, one of a kind. She steered me the right way all through my life, man. And I'm never, ever going to forget what she did. But she was a real soldier. She was a Christian lady. Real lady. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I want to first thank the council for doing this, Mitch for bringing it up, Mr. Edwards for doing it also. Look, again, this is, so I've known Ms. Sayas for over 50 years. As spoken earlier, Ms. Sayas, the Sayas family was a staple in the parish, the Oakville community, and Belle Chase High School for a very long time. I grew up with the Sayas family. From playing band league football with Mike to walking across Belle Chase High School graduation with Mike in 1984, long time. As already been spoken, she taught at Belle Chase High School for over 40 years. But Ms. Sayas was more than a teacher. She listened to everyone's issues, concerns, and whatever problems a student had. But one thing Ms. Sias always did, as Mr. Henry just stated, was give great advice to everyone. She had many, this is going back, many what we call prom breakfasts at her house. Her doors were open to everyone. No one was turned away. Ms. Sias was also a sponsor back in a few years ago, many years ago, for the baccalaureate mass for high school seniors. What we have all lost is a wonderful person, but more important, heaven has gained an awesome angel. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Newsom. Any other comments from the council? Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, thank you, Mitch, for agreeing to allow me to prepare this proclamation for a dear friend of mine. I know the Sias family know how much I love Sister Sias and how much she loved me. And I'm just sorry I can't be at the funeral, but I've been spending some time with Jean. She is a one-of-a-kind person. I want to thank you, Krista, also for making it real tight. You did a marvelous job in editing this. So we just come by to saying the least that we can do as a council for a great lady who made a contribution. So we just want you to know you're not by yourself, not on this council. I think people throughout Plaquemine Parish know Miss C.I., and we just want to remember that one thing that she would say, don't care who she met, whenever she left you, she would always say, I love you. So on behalf of this council and all of you, we want to say we love you all too. So God bless you. Always keep her in the memory. You got some fines, and I know you got some mama members like nobody else, so when you get to that weakest palmer, go to some of those size members. When she was wrong, it's two left shoes, but you couldn't make her right. Hold on to those members. So anyway, God bless your family. It is our prayer.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Yeah, I will. All right. We're going to open the machines for the vote, and then after that, we'll like the family come forward and we'll take a picture. Machines are open. Passes 7-0.
Oh, come around.
Y'all come to the front. Y'all stand to the front. Y'all come out to the front. Well, yeah, listen, come to the front. But, yeah.
You gotta get a little closer.
That's right.
All ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Good job. Chris.
Take care of my brother.
Yeah, I have all the time in the world to do that.
Go ahead. Yeah. The family would like to say some words.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Mark, 32 years old. So that means I spent a lot of time in Belle Chase. I just want to, in this room, just thank each and every one of you for allowing us to be here. The kind words about my grandmother, we feel it. All the backyard stories, things like that, where we weren't even a thought, but the experiences, she was wonderful to us. So she treated us like a grandmother should, like kings, and we just appreciate being from this parish. And so kudos to the work that you all are doing. I just want to say thank you, and our families, so much gratitude, so much love. Been on Facebook reading a lot of posts. I love you, Grandmommy, and we miss you. So.
Thanks.
So short. I am her daughter. I am her precious daughter. I am Tia. I just want to tell everybody thank y'all so very much for recognizing my mom. And I always want everybody to know that she loves you dearly. I love you.
Thank y'all. All right. Next item, please.
4, status report by the parish president and update by charter directors.
Touch on a few things. What about, I guess, a month or so, or maybe 2 months, the port was under contract with the Corps dealing with Baptiste Colette. Just want to report that the surveys have been completed for Baptiste Colette, and the Corps are seeking out contractors to build on the maintenance dredging to the bar channel, and that the bids are due 8/13 here in about a week or so. So that's where the parish's interest in went to for that to continue that project. Kelly, Mr. Marco, and Ms. Buck and I had the opportunity. We were invited to do a windshield tour throughout the parish, and just to let a few of you know, the individuals that came in and invited us and had us there was Mr. J.T. Hannon. He's the regional director of intergovernmental affairs for the governor's office. Andrew Kilshaw, he's a governor policy advisor. Josh Tatum, he's with GNO Inc. He's vice president of business development, and we also had Miss Jasmine Brown there as well. It was a good meeting. We were able to touch on Walker Road, broad interest. The governor seems to be very interested in the Walker Road project and the bypass road, and as well as what we're referring to as the industrial corridor, being from La Recite down to the Diamond Hump. So we were able to touch on that, just kind of as we went through those areas up Walker Road, just kind of explain to them that where the airport is, and adjacent to Walker Road, because they're also interested in that as well. And then as we went down from La Recite down towards the Diamond Hump, we were able to just explain to them, and for some of them, that was the first time they had seen the LNG plant, so that was a pretty interesting tour for them. So I'm going to leave all the other nuts and bolts and the nitty-gritty for the directors, and they'll give you the updates on everything that's been going on in the parish here for the last couple of weeks.
Thanks, everyone. From the operations side, same two subjects, grass cutting and roads. Grass cutting and roads. Grass cutting, highways and levees are almost back to their normal schedule they were on, which is still that roughly 4 to 6 weeks. The machines that were down have been repaired and put back to work. The A-boom ditch cutter that was on the southern end broke down. That did get repaired, so you actually got a couple of them working down there still currently. The plan that Prom is working on for the southern end mostly, it's going to affect them mostly because you have more of these 2-lane roads, and that's Port Sulphur 2-lane, all the river roads, Buras, Bluefield River Road. Now that school started, Prom's going to set up to try to have those roads cut every 2 weeks. Like I know, sometimes that Johnson grass is 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot tall on the roads. If you got kids standing out there, you couldn't even see the kid if he's standing out there at the school bus stop. So they're going to try to tackle that and stay on top of it. Ongoing from the last meeting, we're still working on contractors, trying to get bids submitted on different projects. We've broke all areas of the parish into zones to try to sub that out. It's a lot. It's thousands of acres of grass. Not one company can handle that, even though a couple of them want to try to tackle that, but we much rather spread that out. We feel more confident when we have multiple contractors trying to bid these jobs and work on these things. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, and if something goes bad, it hurts the whole parish. So we're going to keep looking at it from a zone perspective. They may very likely have different zones, but it won't be one-stop shop for everybody in the parish. The GIS department, still from last week, they're still working on maps and ditches and all kinds of servitudes and stuff. But that's a tedious process. It's not just go pull it up on the internet and draw some lines. And that's, it's a one-man department. And he still has every other job to do, which is anything to do with any of our infrastructure parish-wide. Any department, anybody who fools with infrastructure, they all have to run through him to map everything. So it's taken a while. Roads. Previously discussed, we had about a dozen spots identified for Mr. LaFrancis district. We're still working on those. Bergeron Drive was completely finished, maybe a couple little cosmetic touch-ups. The Southern Oaks package, that was let out to bid. 4 companies responded. One company was awarded that bid, Barrier Construction. Next week is scheduled to do the pre-construction meeting and sit down with them, and immediately following that, if they don't have any issues, they'll get the letter to begin work. So within 2 weeks, they'll be putting asphalt on those roads for you. And that's all I have.
Good afternoon, everyone. On yesterday, Rachel sent each of you the rollover figures, and also today we'll be doing an introduction for those figures to be voted on at the next council meeting. In that email, she also pointed out that we have 3 items on the agenda that's taking money from the emergencies. One of those items, I spoke to the director, and she said it can be deferred until next meeting. So Rochelle said if we have to move with them, we'll have to move it to emergencies instead of out of the unreserved, undesignated. That's what it's on the agenda for. She said we would have to move it to emergencies if we have to vote on them today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be brief. Portsmouth Government Building, the AC guy should have went down there today. We finally got the right part in. The supplier shipped the wrong part. That arrived this morning, and the AC tech picked it up, and he should be down there, and he may be completed with it, and recharge the 3rd floor. So that building should be good to go. Just let me know if there's any issues. The YMCA, the Port Sulphur pool, the plaster was completed last week. They filled the pool. The decking should be completed this week. They'll clean all of the grass out of the cracks and put that polymer layer over the decking. Billy and I talked about on that southern end where the grass is growing over the deck. We'll get together and dig that up and create a little swell to get that water flowing to that little ditch on the south side of it. EMS, we do have a candidate for the manager's position. She's going through the application process now. Hopefully that goes pretty smooth, and we'll have a manager in that position. I did another walkthrough at the animal shelter. We got a plan to move forward to put another couple of temporary units in some spots that should help tremendously with some of those areas. Again, it's a very complicated, convoluted HVAC system that never worked from the get-go. But we are seeing some relief from the one temporary unit there, and we've isolated some areas where we could put some other smaller units to help that facility out. Again, if y'all have any issues, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. From the recreation side, the flag football season begins Tuesday, August 13th, 2024, with all games being played at Cypress Park. A complete schedule of the season will be on the parish website under Arts, Parks, and Recreation. Season updates will also be available on the website. There are a total of 9 teams playing in the season, with 110 youth ages 5 to 12. Also, volleyball registration will close on Friday, August 16, 2024. The 2024 volleyball season will begin with a free volleyball clinic for all registered players, coaches, and those interested in the sport of volleyball. The free clinic will be held on Wednesday, August 21st at 6 p.m. in the Bell Chase Pavilion. The clinic will be hosted by Ms. Casey Laird. Also, PPG, Arts, Parks, and Recreation, hosted a back-to-school tie-dye T-shirt bar in collaboration with La Yaya on last Saturday, August 3rd. There were 10 participants, including their family members, and the event was well-received, and we also have a wait list for another event of the same magnitude. Also, speaking of La Yaya, on Sunday, August 11th, La Yaya will host its Sunday Fun Day Ice Cream Social at the Creative Community Center from 1 to 4 p.m. There will be free jambalaya and an ice cream bar for all. We would personally like to invite the council and the entire community to this event, and there will also be a first look at the entire facility. So this will be the community's first time to kind of have an open house over there. So we'd like to extend that invitation. Let's see. Also, an update on Day Van Outdoor Pool. The pool will close for the summer season on Monday, September 2nd, 2024 at 6 p.m. I will be working with our aquatic staff to kind of see who's transitioning out for the summer, and what we have left, if there's any availability or options to keep the pool open longer than that. But for now, the pool will close on September 2nd. And then lastly, I would like to wish everyone returning to school this week, including our teachers and professional staff, a wonderful school year. So I know a lot of schools started this week. So from Recreation, we want to just wish them all a great year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any comments from the audience? Yes, sir. State your name and address.
Hey, Arthur Henry, Bell Chase. I would just like to see if the recreation director could comment on the Olympics for the public. You know, hey, we tearing them up.
Well, I think it's going well, and I hope that we have some Plaquemines Parish athletes in the Olympics soon. I know I've met some wrestlers who said they are applying for next year, so hopefully we have some contenders next year for the Olympics. But hats off to the USA.
Lawrence Brox, 156 Enos Camel Lane. I'd like to make a comment to Mr. The director right here, Billy. They're doing a good job on cutting the grass, but you know, I've been cutting grass every week. As fast as I get it, I went on vacation for 1 week. The grass didn't stop growing. You know, it didn't come on vacation with me, so it is getting them real high. But one ditch that you took care of real well, it taking care of a lot of the yards in Phoenix, because that ditch is closer to the houses, and he took care of it real good, and I appreciate that. And the community appreciate it, because another ditch that I asked him to do, he don't have to worry about doing it. I did it myself, so and that can help the community real well. But he said also something, but you're gonna start doing the roads again, the highways, and stuff like that. But I talked to a guy from DOT. I know they got another letter, but I think I always call him DOT. What?
D.
All right, that guy there. Well, I talked to him, and I told him, you know, came to him and said, man, look, I'm a resident of this area. I've been here for 69 years, but I can't say 69 years anymore, because I made my birthday. I'm 70 now. So I asked him, I said, man, I appreciate y'all fixing these potholes in the road. He said, man, don't worry about no more potholes. We're going to reconstruct the whole road from Phoenix all the way down to Pearl Hash. I said, redo the whole road, nothing wrong with it. I said, are you sure that y'all supposed to do the whole road? He said, we're going to repave the whole road from Phoenix to Pearl Hash. And I'm just asking, do y'all know about that? If you do, that road is pretty good. We got a couple of holes. That money could go somewhere else. But he said the state doing it, so know what that means. We have no control of that. Whatever the state say do, they're going to do it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Ms. McCarty.
I wanted to thank administration and Mr. Witchers for getting the contractor to go into Fort St. Leon North. I believe that was an A-boom tractor. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. And to let the people there know that we are having discussions about the little ditches behind the houses to try and see if we can get that in the queue. Thank you.
Mr. Gognovich.
I just moved my District 9 update up, but Highway 11, I asked y'all last meeting if it was finished. Y'all said yeah, and I reminded y'all that y'all told me it was going to be remilled and the whole thing redone to the Catholic Church in Buras. And y'all said, nope, y'all didn't say it, but if y'all want to watch the video again, I got the video to play. And Ken Dugas even told me the same thing.
You just showed me the video, Councilman, and I said what I said. I can't go back on what I said. I did say I would check into it. That budget that was allocated by the council comes nowhere near what it would have taken to overlay that complete stretch. It would have been 3 times. I misspoke. But a complete overlay on that road was never actually in the project.
Because when I brought it up the first time, that's why I wanted the $5 million, because that's what Ken Dugas.
It would have taken more than that.
That was to the bridge to the firehouse, and that's what Ken told me to go after.
But it wasn't in the budget. It wasn't in the budget.
But we'll go from here. But grass cutting, am I going to get my lawnmower back for the fort?
Yes, I didn't know they took it from you, but I'll follow up on that. I hope we took it and somebody else didn't, but I'll follow up on that.
Brad sent the crew down there to get it.
Okay, I'll follow up on that.
And then I haven't received any email from Rochelle about the rollover.
I have it right here. It went out to everyone. So,
Never came to me.
Councilman District 9.
Councilman Konovich, that computer I can't get into, and that crew hasn't come fix the computer.
You get a copy of it.
Thank you.
Ursich.
Yes, Billy, any word on when they're going to start the shipyard slip? Because I was told by the engineers that, August 7th, we should start seeing some equipment get on site, and nobody showed up yet.
I'll call when we leave here and find out. I was with a meeting earlier, but I didn't think to ask about that.
All right, and I want to thank you for, getting around to some of these jobs that we've been doing. You've been doing a good job. Jeff, I also want to let you know that the gas line, that gas leak has been fixed. I just got the message a while ago, so.
I got on the phone after we spoke and kind of went up the chain, and I never did speak with someone, but I did get a message that they'll kick it up, and I was hoping that would happen. Good.
It's finished. It's fixed. Thank you.
Reverend Edwards.
Yeah, I just want to follow through again, with Jeff, and because the people in Berkeley was pretty upset this weekend with the brown water and the water advisory. And I got mixed messages all week. Some people got the call, some people didn't get the call. But I still believe that the reverse 911 is a good thing. But it's not just telling people giving a borough water advisory. They need to know what's really happening and how long it's going to happen. And it's disturbing. One of the things I know for a fact is that because we still have those galvanized pipes in the Brickway area, it's causing some problems. And when Hammer was here, he almost assured us, like, the people in Brickway, that the purchase and the money was there. And if we continue to dig
in that area is going to continue to cause some problems to people. What I can't understand, and it's not just this administration, that this project, like most projects, is already engineered design. It's on the cabinet ready, but for some reason, for years, this area been. I haven't done no investigation. I don't know if I need to get Lou Zurich, whatever name, to do an investigation. But I'm willing to bet there have been some projects after that was designed and did everything while this project didn't happen. I seriously hope this has been years and years. These galvanized pipes been there, and people been having the same problem. And I can only tell them nothing, because I can't tell them anything. You know, Helmut told them like had some hope like it was going to happen. So when I got your page back, it said design, but everything says zero budget. So, and I'm saying this has been years. So I just hope at some point that we get even if you do 4 miles of it, at least we could say something. But for years and years and years, this has been a problem. And I know for years and years, there's been a lot of work done on the West Bank in lieu of the neglect, because no district had this many years going without the problem, and we've been elected. So I just want to say this loud and clear so the constituency know I'm making their voice known, because I get these calls, and I shared it with you. So when I got the letter from Billy early that morning talking about the advisory, then I called you. But something really need to be done about those galvanized pipes, you know, and people need, and what people don't want is just hearsay. They want to know the truth. You know, what's there, what's the problem. So I hope at some point that you can come and address the people, because as I tell the community, I can't lie to them. I can't tell them something that I don't know, because a lot of things as a councilman I know zero about. You know, I find out it through the grapevine.
Reverend, and we spoke about this, and I dropped the ball on giving you some information this weekend. I got a call at about maybe midnight Saturday night, 12:30. Thank you, Councilman. And I dropped the ball on that. I should have called you immediately. It would have been about 12:30 in the morning, but I take ownership of that. We did have a conference call with LDH and Office of Community Development this morning to talk about some projects and some available funding. President Hinckley was there with us. I think it was a really good conversation, and we identified those 4 projects on the East Bank that is designed, and we're going to aggressively go after some funds that are available, and we're going to make those priority, because you're right. Any disruption in the water line on that side creates some issues, and we're gonna try and make those priorities with whatever funds we could go after.
Hope so.
Mr. Champagne.
Director Morrison, I know we've spent a lot of money on the Davant pool and continue to spend revenue on the pools on the West Bank and low end of the parish, which is money well spent. But do we have provisions in place to ensure these pools will remain functional throughout the year, so that we don't run into the same problems? We shut them down for 6 months and we have huge problems when the summer rolls around. So I yield.
And thank you for that, because that was one of the things I wanted to access.
So yes, currently we have funds in the budget to keep the Davant outdoor pool running until the end of the year, as far as cleaning and maintenance. So what will take place is, as we look into the 2025 into next year, how we create some type of position or some type of assistance to keep our pools running year-round, whether it's just maintenance or cleaning up. We also could utilize a way to train for lifeguards for the summer, and also have staff that can help at our other pools across the parish. So that is in place for 2025 to extend funds in the budget to make sure that that pool is operating. But currently we do have a budget to keep it maintained throughout the year.
And that includes the pools on the West Bank as well?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Cognwich.
About recreation, I got an email I'll forward to you that since the Super Bowl's coming, there's grants that we could get for athletics and all.
Yes, I'm already in place with applying for one right now with some partners. So trying to get around some challenges that we're having. The grant, you need to be connected to a 501c3 to apply for the grant. So I'm in conversations with the committee over with Southeast Louisiana United Way on how we can move forward with our application. But we do have an access number, and our application is live to complete that grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Reverend Edwards.
Yeah, I forgot, Billy, you were saying something about the GIF maps, and I didn't know what you were saying. What was that about?
The GIS department, that's the department that does all of our mapping and tracks everything to do with the parish, all the infrastructure, water lines, roads, tells you what's public. It's almost the same as legal. When someone asks us if something is a public ditch, a public right-of-way, a public road, we go through that department, and they look up the maps, look up all the legal paperwork, all the sales documentation on it, and tells us who actually owns it, if it's public, private, et cetera.
And then my other question is to Ms. Ackley. You mentioned Yaya, and, I blame my forgetfulness on old age, but I think we also had a conversation about Yaya also doing some murals at the Reverend Griffin Pool, and so I hope, we can really still have that discussion about some design, not only the pool, but the area where the bathroom at. I think that would help tremendously get rid of the graffiti that was there and help beautify the place. So I hope we can entertain that conversation real soon.
Yes, sir. I have spoken with Layaya's director, and she's ready whenever you are. I just have dropped the ball with getting on your schedule, so I'll make sure I call your office at this meeting, after this meeting, and get on your calendar so she and I can come down and meet with you.
Just got to let my boss know.
Yes, sir. I know.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Mr. LaFrance.
Yes. Good evening to everyone. Mr. Billy, Mr. Jeff, I sent y'all some pictures with the trash, the problem that we have in that Grand Bayou. Could you get our cameras up and running?
Well, that's me. Yes, we are looking at a new camera system to do that, but so you led right up to it. As long as you help and support enforcement of that, we're good to go. Because you notice the dumpster is empty, but all the trash is outside the dumpster.
Right.
And look, that's not somebody from Gretna going down there and doing that. It's the people from that general area.
Well,
that's
it's not
1 mile.
from Grand Bayou. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that. That's not them. No. Jeff, can you tell me where we at with the 20-inch water line in Port Sulphur?
So that was part of the conversation we had with LDH this morning on that conference call and the Office of Community Development. There is some funds available for what they call emerging contaminants. Saltwater intrusion was designated as a contaminant, so there's monies available. We've sent 3 projects. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring that with me, but that project is one of them that we submitted. Ms. Paula and the consultant and Mr. Dugas was in that meeting. We started the process of filling out that application to secure those funds. So fingers crossed, we're gonna be very aggressive in securing and going after those funds. But that was one of the 3 projects that we identified for those funds. We'll keep you in the loop on that. Reverend, we'll keep you in the loop. Oh, he's gone.
The residents back of Myrtle Grove, with the new levee, and the new levee is so high, when you're going over it, you can't see what's coming towards you. So I spoke to Billy yesterday about seeing whether we can get the contractor or our department, our sign department, or personnel, that we could put up a sign either to slow or stay right.
Okay.
Because it's beginning to be a safety hazard.
Okay.
All right?
We'll take a ride down there and we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah, because when I wrote it, I kind of worried about what's...
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
That's right.
More like an alligator. Thank you.
Mr. Jersey.
Yes, I didn't hit on, but we just had a great weekend down on the low end of our parish. One of our biggest events of the year, the Empire South Pass Tarpon Rodeo, took place this past weekend. And I just wanted to let everyone know it was a huge success. We had a lot of fishermen fish the tournament, and on Saturday, it was by far our largest crowd yet Saturday evening that came down. I appreciate, members from the administration, some of our council members showed up. I really appreciate y'all coming down and spending time with the people, but we had a lot of new faces, a lot of new fishermen. So hopefully we can continue that success for years to come because it really showcases, the lower part of the parish. So I appreciate everybody that came out.
Mr. Conovich.
One other thing, just had a reminder, I'm getting calls about the saltwater intrusion that FEMA was supposed to come give money to people to replace stuff. Do we know where that's at?
Probably nowhere. That's going to be a tough one.
I'll let them know.
Look, I'm going to be meeting with Jacques Thibodeau here in the next week or so. We'll see if we can't resurface it, but I can't get any interest in any conversations that I'm talking to him with that. Where we missed I hate to say where we missed the boat is not of anything that we did or didn't do, but it's what happened when the salt water didn't make it up to Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish. So we'd have gotten a lot more attention if that would have happened.
Anyone else? Next item, please.
5, bids and advertisements, there are none. 6, beer and liquor licenses. 6A, Joshua's Marina, 309 Burris Boat Harbor Road, Burris, LA, 70041. Councilmember Kotnovich.
Offered by Mr. Conovich, second by Mr. Jursich. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, we'll take A, 1, 2, and 3 in Globo.
Locks application number 2024-708 dated 6/17/24, proposed shell pad pilings and drilling barge to drill the SL22190 A2 well main pass block 21. Locks application number 2024-707 dated 6/17/24, proposed shell pad pilings and drilling barge to drill the SL22190 A1 main pass block 21. Texas Petroleum Investment Co., application number 2023-373 dated 5/31/23, after the fact, 1 6-inch and 1 2-inch gas lift lines for producing the Tex LRA SUA SL12002 number 1 ALT and number 2 wells main pass block 31.
You offer, Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Offered by Ms. Edwards. Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any comments from the audience?
Yeah, but I've been looking at some of the pipelines that come from way out there, but there's a lot of pipelines being refurbished right there in Perna Hash. Bass used to be Bass, is booming again. So all these pipelines going to meet somewhere in the Mississippi River off of Highway 39, and I still believe that if it's going to be an industrial area coming close to our living area, the two of them cannot exist. One of them got to go, and they're putting in all this money in permits, and we can't get permits, because we can't afford the things that we got to do to get a permit. Like if I want to put a home or do some business, get a business, I gotta spend a lot of money just to do that. But these companies coming from Texas, getting permits, and the two of them cannot exist. So if y'all see anything happening that they're going to be coming in Perna Hash, David, or Phoenix, let us know. Let them know that y'all can't disturb our way of life.
Yes, sir. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Reverend Edwards.
Again, and Mr. Brock, trust me, if this was anything at all, we're from East Bank, I would do it. I'm willing to bet in the next couple of years, the governor gonna have it so where the parish council don't have anything to do with these permits, that it's probably gonna be arranged by the governor. This is so far out of their tell it is unbelievable. And I've spread that with you over and over and over. I live in Phoenix. I'm not gonna let anything come, especially like this, come in. This is way out there. I don't know about the bad stuff, how it relate to this. I still didn't understand that correlation, but I can tell you this is far out. I think Councilman Konovich was trying to tell you that under breath, because he's out there, and Mitch can tell you that this is nowhere near Phoenix or Pearl Ash, nowhere near. And so these are existing stuff that have been going on, and they don't need the parish government. They can go straight to the governor in a little while and get these permits. So I know you get up every time this is having it, but you could save yourself some time. None of us, not just me, none of us, will let anything come in that would harm the air, especially me, because I live in Phoenix, to let anything come in. If it was something like that, I'd say something long time. And this has been going on not since I've been a councilman, Mr. Bartholomew, Mr. Griffin, and all those other people. So I don't know where you was at when they was councilman, but they did this very same thing. So I just wanted to express that to you.
Any other comments from the council? Machines are open. Passes 7-0, one abstention from Mr. Konovich. We'll take B through E in Globo.
Mac Haley, commercial boat shed in A2 zoning district, 42090 Highway 23, Venice, Louisiana. Shady Oaks Mobile Home Park, permanent trailer park renewal, Shady Oaks Lane, Balchase, Louisiana. Cajun Oaks RV Park, TNL Land Ventures LLC, conditional approval for 38 additional spaces to existing permanent RV park. 10680 Highway 23, Balchase, Louisiana. Clay Boudreaux, existing temporary RV park in an FP zoning district, 200 and 232 West Cass Lane, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Councilmember LaFrance.
Offered by Ms. LaFrance. Do I have a second by Ms. McCarty? Any comments from the audience? State your name and address, please.
Hi, David Clark, 108 Avenue A in Belchase. I'm up here every meeting seeing the same thing. Additional 38 spots. Same council member I've been trying to work with to get me at least 40 spots on my property that I purchased. These are conditional use. These are permanent spots. These are temporary spots. I don't know what it takes to get the process done, but I would definitely like to have the opportunity to use my property for what I purchased it for. Realizing that it didn't pass permanent MH, but people are putting up temporary parks. And if I can work with that council member that's introducing some of these every week, I might have a chance to do something. But I'm hearing every council meeting how they're going to be downsizing and we're going to be decreasing, but people are still building parks. So we're either blowing some hot air or we're just trying to prevent me from putting up a park. I just don't know what it would take to get that done. And I'm asking the council member now, can we talk this week, coming up next week, to get something? Appreciate it. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of remember in Belchase they said no more trailers coming in. What is the key word in this sentence? Permanent or because this trailer park is already exists already?
You're talking about, go ahead.
Let's see.
It's permanent, that's a renewal for C, and D is a permanent park already in existence, and they're asking for additional spaces, but it's already existing park.
So it can be done if
Yes.
it already
And
exists.
Yeah, Mitch, go ahead, you can.
Owned properly and it's an existing park.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Good evening. 146 Mount Zion Lane, Beerish, I imagine it is. But I'm coming to speak on my behalf. I bought into a pre-existing park. And for some strange reason, I cannot get in and get it right for, I've been dealing with it since October. Since October I did my permits. But it was already a park, and Amitra Rose, the superintendent, keep telling me it's not a park. But if you ride down to address 36044 Highway 11, Beerus, Louisiana, 70041, Mr. Mark Konovich is the councilman. No, he's the councilman in District 9. So he's aware of it. He don't live too far from there, actually. I have a fire hydrant in the front. And I spoke with Mr. Mitra Rose, and I said, well, Mr. Mitra, I have a water hydrant. I was informed there's actually 2 and 1, but you go to the 250 distance. She stopped the first lot, blocked it off. I had a engineer. I had it surveyed. She overrides everything and everybody for whatever reason. I have not a clue who giving somebody this kind of authority. I don't know. But why can't I get some more units in my park within that 250 feet?
All right. Mr. Newsom, you look like you want to respond to that.
Yes, ma'am. Jeff, looks like him. Mitch, can you get with this lady and get information together?
I spoke with Jeff. To no avail, nothing is getting done.
It seems like it's and look, I want to say it seems like not a hard problem to solve, but
No.
that's always not necessarily the case. But anyway, if we can get together, Jeff, and y'all can kind
We will.
of try to work
We'll
something
speak
out.
again.
Thank
We'll
you.
speak again.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you state your name?
For me?
Yes.
Lolita, Lolita, Frison, Frison.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Dirt. My complaint is this. The old highway at 23, they cut it last week. The grass is 6 feet high.
Wait.
I'm 6'2". It was about 10 feet high. Then, huh?
Well, we're on RV parks right now, or permits.
Permits. Do you have anything talking about permits for RVs?
We have to stay on the agenda item.
Okay. Excuse me, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But my point is, y'all get up there and talk around this bullshit. Bell said,
Watch language.
the grass the high my damn head. Y'all not doing what y'all supposed to be doing at the end. That's the whole part of damn bullshit.
Sir,
Like this gentleman asked about the pipeline.
please watch your language.
He passed the buck to the governor. You know? Y'all like a cartoon character to me. It's all true. The truth's always the truth, bro.
Yes, sir.
Nobody speak up right. Y'all go to a certain neighborhood and do what y'all want to do. You want me to spell it out to you?
No,
Is it
sir,
Paris?
Sir,
It's still a white and black issue.
sir, thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 6 yeses, 1 no from Reverend Edwards, and 1 abstention from Mr. Kognovich. Next item, please.
8, introduction of ordinances and resolutions.
The following are under Councilmember Schultz. An ordinance to amend the 2024 operating revenue budget and the 5-year capital improvements plan, renovations, EOC, and 911 call center project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 2024 operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 2024 general fund and firefighting fund balance designations and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 2024 operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend and as amended readopt Section 1, Paragraphs 1 and 4 of Ordinance Number 20-40 relative to the Coastal Resources and Protection Department and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 2024 operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The next one is for Councilmember Champagne.
An ordinance authorizing Plaquemines Parish government to enter into a lease agreement with the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District for a certain portion of the third floor of the Popich Building located at 8056 Highway 23, Belchase, Louisiana, for its Emergency Operations Center and 911 Dispatch Center, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The following two are for Dr. Gui. An ordinance to authorize the acceptance of a donation for the purchase of a vehicle for use by the District Attorney's Office and to amend the 2024 General Fund operating revenue and expenditure budgets, District Attorney's Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance to propose an amendment to the Plaquemines Parish Charter for local self-government to establish a commission. Keep going. Not to introduce. No, he told me, came back. This one's good, though? Okay. I'm sorry, an ordinance to propose an amendment to the Plaquemines Parish Charter for local self-government to establish a commission as the governing authority of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District in lieu of the Plaquemines Parish Council, to call a special election to submit proposed amendments to voters and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The final one is for Councilmember Konovich, an ordinance to amend and as amended readopt subsection B of section 17.5-2 fees and policies for use of Plaquemines Parish government facilities of the Parish Code of Ordinances to enact rental fees for the Empire Harbor Refuge Pavilion and otherwise to provide with respect thereto, and that is it.
Nine, ordinances and resolutions on second reading and final passage. 9A, ordinances and public hearings pursuant to Article 6, Section 601E of the Plaquemines Parish Charter. 9A1, an ordinance to levy millages on the 2024 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by Plaquemines Parish government and otherwise provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. This is just for the public to basically levy our millages for 2024. This is just formality. Any comments from the audience? Yes, sir.
Are you raising the millage?
I don't think there's any. We were already at the max that we could be at, so it's no change from last year.
Okay.
On the millages, the assessed value I know has been going out. That's done by the assessor's office, so let's clarify that. But our millages have not changed. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Kogovich?
This is to renew all millages, or is that the one they voted down and putting it on a ballot for the people to decide?
Just need to explain to them what it's, we just need to explain to the public what the millage is for.
So this is to levy them, assuming that the one, so
put on a ballot and let the people.
Yeah, we did that at the last meeting, put it on the ballot, so.
But it doesn't expire this year. So
Correct.
that's why we're levying it this year.
Correct. Ms. McCarty?
Sorry.
All right, any other comments? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
2, an ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of the property of Terry Robertson, lots 37V and 38V, Phase 1C, the Parks of Plaquemines subdivision, Section 2, T14S R24E, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into lots 38V1, Phase 1C, the Parks of Plaquemines subdivision, Section 2, T14S R24E, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the plan and plat of survey by Dufresne Surveying and Engineering Incorporated, dated April 22nd, 2024, the owner having fulfilled all the requirements of the subdivision and re-subdivision ordinance of the Parish of Plaquemines, without cost to the Plaquemines Parish government or the Parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Offered by Mr. Champagne, second by Ms. McCarty. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
3, an ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of the property of Peyton Piglia, lots 135 and 136, Phase 2, the Parks of Plaquemines subdivision, Section 2, T14S R24E, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into Lot 135A, Phase 2, the Parks of Plaquemines subdivision, Section 2, T14S, R24E, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the plan and plat of survey by KLC Group Incorporated dated May 23rd, 2024, the owner having fulfilled all the requirements of the subdivision and re-subdivision ordinance of the Parish of Plaquemines, without cost to the Plaquemines Parish government or the Parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Offered by Mr. Champagne, second by Reverend Edwards. Any comments from the audience?
Clarence Brooks, 156, Enos Campbell Land. I don't have a problem, seeing the parish revolve and grow, but we only got one district, one area in the whole Plaquemines Parish that can put a subdivision up. Everybody else is to a point that we can't afford no housing, affordable housing, and we got Belcher is the only one could put a subdivision. Nobody else could do it. It can't afford it. So,
yes,
it's not a. It just make me feel bad, that only one part of the parish could grow and the rest of it can't. I know nothing we could do about it. It's the rules and the law that came true. But I just want to say it don't sound right. It don't feel right. One part of the whole parish could get subdivision, the rest of it can't.
Yes, sir. And this is a subdivision already established, but it's combining two lots into one. It's not creating a new subdivision or anything like that, but it's just combining two lots into one.
All right. No building, no homes gonna go on there?
Well, no, I'm sure the home's going to be on there, but I'm saying it's not like it's a new subdivision being created.
Okay.
It's just combining two lots into one.
Okay, all right, understand.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Mr. Champagne, are these lots the same size or some of them smaller than the other?
No, they're actually a weird kind of curved dynamic. They're similar in size. The total lot's going to be 105 feet wide on the front, and it looks like about 260 something feet on the back.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
9A4 will be deferred.
All right.
9B will be deferred.
Well, 9B, I just want to let everybody know, we are deferring it one last time and reintroducing. We're waiting on answers on one key thing, and then we will vote on that next meeting. Just where 9B, correct. It was reintroduced in the introductions.
9C, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan, repairs Diamond Park project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember LaFrance.
Offered by Mr. LaFrance, second by Mr. Kognovich.
Did you get the roll over?
Hold on. Cue in. Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, did we get the rollover?
An email was sent out yesterday to each of you with what the amounts are. We done an introduction today, and it will be voted on next council meeting. So if you want to vote on this today, Rochelle asked that we make a change and take it from emergencies.
This one's already coming from emergencies.
Okay. So it's whatever you want to do, Mr. LaFrance. If you want to wait till next council meeting, the rollover will be in place then, or if you want to move on it today, we can move on it today, whatever you wish.
You want to wait or take it from emergencies, or wait until next meeting and have the rollover and just take it from unassigned? All
right, we'll just wait till the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
That'd be easier.
All right, C will now be deferred.
D will be withdrawn.
And also, just where everybody knows, that one also was withdrawn due to a lot of changes going on and reintroduced. So this one will be voted on at the next meeting. Yes. They had a lot of changes that basically was a little too much, so we just withdrew it and reintroduced it.
E, a resolution asking the Federal Emergency Management Agency and Congress to reconsider the flood insurance rate maps as it relates to the National Flood Insurance Program and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. This has changes, and this is for Councilmember Jurisic.
Go ahead and read the changes.
After the second whereas, an additional whereas has been added, which reads as follows. Whereas the adoption of the latest firms have created massive hardships across Plaquemines Parish, most notably by severely limiting the ability of our residents and business owners to build, renovate, and revitalize our parish. By preventing this necessary work on a parish-wide scale, the negative consequences of these maps has, is, and will continue to do harm to our citizens. And that's the only change.
Offered by Mr. Jurisic, second by Reverend, wait, go ahead. Unanimous second. Any objections? Unanimous second. Any comments from the audience?
Mr. Chairman, can I just stand right here?
Yes, sir.
The reason why I'm coming up, because I'm a resident of Plaquemines Parish for 70 years, and this is something that we can't afford it. If you remember, I see that I went from door to door. 20 individuals make less than $1,000 a month in that household, and if they don't change these flood plans, people don't even have flood insurance. So why should they be penalized that they can't put a home on their house? I mean, if their house get damaged 50%, they can't even come back into their own home. So we need to change this. If you need support from the parish, let us know, the people.
You want to listen to our explanation about this? This is to help this.
I know.
Hold on.
I know. I agree with it. I agree with it 100%. And I want you, huh?
This is actually doing what you have been talking about. This resolution coming back because I told them it wasn't meeting the needs, addressing that people can't rebuild on the East Bank of the river. Everything that you have been acting for, this was this purpose of this resolution. I don't know what you're reading, but the purpose of this resolution is to do just what we've been saying so that people can come back and rebuild. Matter of fact, what I was acting for was going to cause some problems because I was limited the fee. What they're doing is trying to get it back to we don't have to worry about elevation as a fee issue. This resolution, and that's why I would delay it, because I fought and said, no, it got to say the language that makes sense. Where I thought that it wasn't meet people's expectation when they read it, so the way it was written is so that folks read it can understand this is the help, especially people on East Bank, especially people in District 9 who came forward to rebuild their house because it's elevated. This is addressing the very thing that you have been talking about and everybody in the community have been talking about. I don't know how you misreading it, but I can tell you this is not about no money at all. It's about getting FEMA to allow us to let people come back to this community and rebuild the way they used to do in the past. That is what this saying for. So I just want to let you know is that that's what this is about. I think you're reading it wrong because the mere fact that you're saying about affording and cost in it, obviously you're reading this wrong. The purpose of this resolution is to get FEMA to come back and reconsider the harm that is causing our community. That's what this is.
I agree with you. I understand exactly what he's saying. That's why I'm saying if y'all need that's what I'm saying. I agree with it. I understand what you're saying, what it say, and but I'm also saying that if you need any more information, the people can't afford it. That's why I'm saying people that don't have the income, say the two of them cannot go together. If they're telling us is the flood insurance go up, we got to elevate and all that kind of stuff, we cannot afford it. So that's some of the things that y'all could tell them when you do bring this up there, that the people can't afford it. I understand exactly what he's saying this time.
That's what this is saying.
I know. That's what I know what he's saying, and I agree with you. I'm just letting y'all know that I agree with it. I do agree with it. I do agree with it, and I appreciate y'all doing it. You, Reverend Edwards, and
right.
Mitch, putting it up.
Any
Make
other-
it pass. Make it pass.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, look, this has been going on year after year after year with this NFIP deal. Listen, have FEMA ever reversed their maps for any locality in the nation? Have they ever?
Probably not.
I mean, it's a good deal. But when we going to the Mardi Gras balls in Washington, D.C. and all that, man, we got to get on our Congress people to do something with 2.0. 2.0 is killing America. It's killing us. It's killing us, man. But them guys look like they only want to do it when hurricane season comes or whenever it's convenient. This should be done immediately. And it's flooding everywhere in America. It ain't just flooding in the coastal areas anymore. It's flooding everywhere.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Champagne.
Mr. Chairman, I do want to speak, but can Mr. Jurisic go ahead since it's his legislation? He may answer some of the questions or cover some of the comments we have, but I'd like to queue up after him if possible.
Yeah, all right. I'll keep you in the queue. Mr. Jurisic, you're on right now.
Okay, no, what I did is, looking at things and listening to complaints, we all live it. And I wanted to do something to try to at least get them back to the table. There is no guarantees that things are going to change. So I got with Zach Smith, our, FEMA guy, and he put this together for me. And he put it together in a way that he felt like he could argue the case with them best. So what we're doing, we got our levies are higher, we're getting, better protection from flooding. And FEMA has not been back to look at things and try to, I'm not saying we can go back on the ground, but if we can get some of those base flood elevations lowered, some insurance rates lowered. I mean, we're still paying higher insurance rates, even though our levies are higher and we're in better shape than we've been in a long time. It seems like our flood insurance rates should start going down because of that. That's not. So this is to make them aware and to make the point about we are in a lawsuit with the FEMA 2.0 with the state, governor. At the time, Attorney General Jeff Landry had a suit and the parish joined that lawsuit. So we are fighting that. And something like this is just a resolution, but we want to get them back to the table because if we can get them back and we can start talking, hopefully we can get some of these elevations where at least handicapped people don't have to go so high and stuff like that. So it's a start to try to make something happen. That's why I put it together. I feel like, I know it's hurricane season, but it don't matter what season it is. In California, wildfires, they don't tell people they can't rebuild a home where the wildfire just passed. So if we got to look at all aspects. That's why I did this, but thank y'all.
All right, Mr. Champagne, you're back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree 100% with Mr. Henry. FEMA's tone deaf. They don't hear us. They don't want to hear us. Yet we pay taxes to support their salaries. So we're feeding the very people who are cutting our throats. And we don't have the ability to option out of a program? That's utterly ridiculous. So we can't say, I don't want to play, and if I flood, I'm good to go, it's on me. How is that legal? They're not elected. They're an unelected bureaucracy that is setting policy that is destroying our way of life. And we're tolerating that? Unbelievable. We should be blowing up our representatives. I don't want to hear my senator with these little, up there talking about other things. I want him, every time he's on TV, to talk about FEMA, not looking out for our people. We've got 2 senators up there. We've got Speaker of the House up there. We've got Steve Scalise up there. We need them fighting for us. Because guess what? There won't be anybody to pull a lever to put them back in office next time we get a hurricane. It's ridiculous. So I applaud what you're doing, Mr. Councilman Jurisic, but I don't think FEMA's going to hear you. They don't care. I applaud what you're doing. And we need help. And we have got, I'm on here because I think our constituency needs to get on the phone and blow them up. Get on emails and be heard. Demand that they listen to what you have to say. To settle for this is ridiculous. I think that they owe us an explanation. Commissioner Jurisic, whatever we need to do to help you on this legislation, please let me know. I'm on board 100%, and I'm sure, Mr. Henry, we need to have a grassroots movement on this. I yield.
Ms. McCarty.
I've been studying this issue for a while, and If you are interested in learning more information, FEMA has a program called the National Flood Insurance Program. You can look it up. Every parish, every county in the United States is listed on this list, and it says where you rate if you're on their rating scale. Their scale is from 9 to 0. It depends on how hard, how strong the structures, the infrastructure is in your county or parish. And our administration has been working on this because we've been putting in water pump stations, better drainage, but we have a long way to go. And right now, we're not even at the list of 9. So if we were at the list, if we were up to 0, which it would take beyond this administration's term to do that, we would have a 45% reduction in our flood insurance. So it depends on how your parish or county is rated. I'm proposing a community insurance program, but more information would have to come out. I can't go into that right now. But I just wanted to let you know that the entire United States is listed on this list, and we have to meet certain requirements from FEMA in order to get our insurance reductions down. That's it.
Reverend Edwards.
Yeah, and Mitch, what I would like to see as a follow-up to this is maybe if we can get the governor or get other parishes to pass resolution, like when the governor had all of the parish to buy into the Risk 2.0 thing that he did when he was Attorney General. I just think it would get a lot of support. I know I talked to a lot of parish president and council members on the region of planning, and they don't see this as an issue as much because their parish government give people a lot of grants to elevate their houses. So they didn't see a need for that because they got a great elevation program where people elevate their houses. But I just think if we can get more other parishes to buy into this, maybe it might get the ear of not just our senators, but Congress as a whole. But I know we've met with Steve Scalise several times, had some communication. Skanovich was on a conference call on Lundi Grade and been backwards and forth. I haven't been that successful with Congressman Carter at all, but I know Steve Scalise had definitely, we've been committed. But I just think, to me, unlike most people, I don't think that this is something impossible that FEMA won't change. I just think that we got to keep the fight going, and I don't have that pessimistic attitude that FEMA did. Because when I talk to legislators and stuff a while back, say, man, this is FEMA. They act like, FEMA is Jesus, I mean, and it's FEMA and IRS. You don't touch those two agencies, and the Corps of Engineers. Those three trinities you don't touch at all because people see them as being all power. I don't believe that. So again, Mitch, I applaud this, and I'm glad that I was able to talk to Zach to get the changes in to Lester. But I just think if we can get other parishes to support this, we might be able to get FEMA here better.
Chris?
Yes.
We're not in this fight alone. Just in the last couple of weeks, we had a conference call with several to many parish presidents, coastal presidents, and Zach, he was on the call with us. And then since then, we've engaged. Zach has been engaged with other CBOs, and also we are talking as parish presidents. So we're not by ourselves. We are fighting this together. So, yeah.
Mr. LaFrance.
Yes. I didn't go to that Mardi Gras ball in Washington, D.C., but I will let you know that we did, on a different trip, we did go to Washington, and we did speak to our Louisiana delegation. Also invited President Hinckley. We met with some senators from New Jersey, California office, and Mississippi. We met with them, and we voiced our opinion and asked for the support on dealing with our elevation, high-risk insurance, that risk 2.0. We also talked about the saltwater intrusion. We talked about the dumping off of shrimp, foreign shrimp on our economy. We spoke to them on numerous things. So we wanted to bring attention to them, and that's what we did. That's what we did, you know. But dealing with FEMA, that ain't going to be a easy task, and that came from the senators themselves. But we have to put up with it too. I don't want you to think just because you're on the East Bank that we have to put up with it too. And if I was to lose my house, I would have to elevate too, you know? So I would just have to get a 20-foot ladder and start nailing. That's all I can tell you. Thank you.
Mr. Kognovich.
Well, first, I want it known that, because in the community, you got people saying that we let FEMA come and do this to us. We didn't let FEMA do anything. They came and said, you're either going to accept our maps or Plaquemines Parish doesn't have flood insurance. So just because this one doesn't have flood insurance, I'm going to go against the maps and say, you don't have flood insurance no more. You know, if people are responsible and pay their insurances, I can't fault them because somebody can't afford the insurance. And I met with Scalise, Carter, Cassidy, Kennedy, told them all about how we got it. I told them, where I live right now, if it got destroyed, I got to go up 13 feet. I got a 21-foot levee on both sides of me, though. I got to go up 13 feet. If another Katrina comes, I'm still underwater 8 feet. So what good did it do me spending $100,000? When you got from St. Bernard to New York, Jefferson Parish to Mexico, don't have a levee. They don't have to build up, but I do. And I asked FEMA, I said, I want to have you start a plan. I'm opting out. You not responsible for Markonovich anymore. I'll sign the paper. Said, nope, what if you sell it? I said, we'll put all that in the paper. I can't sell it, I can't will it, I can't give it away. Once I'm gone, that trailer's gone. Said, nope, can't do it. So that's where we stuck.
Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Right, I did attend Washington Mardi Gras, let me tell you something. And attended with President, and I did. I'll put it on a record, on my dime. I spent my own, it was on me and my wife's dime. So, but let me tell you what went on there, and I can give first-hand information what went on. President Hinckley was in meetings every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. I was invited to some of it. Of course, I sat in the back because our voice needs to come from our administration. And let me tell you, it was a strong voice that was met, and they heard us. And now, again, like everybody said, FEMA's their own folks, but I hate to call this young gentleman out here in the audience, but we do have a representative from Senator Kennedy's office here today, and I'm sure he's heard all our concerns and our thing, and I know he has told me that he speaks with the senator there. He speaks with the senator. See, so he speaks with the senator every day, and look, Senator Kennedy is a strong voice in Washington, and he understands the problems we have throughout the whole parish. Belle Chase, Southern End, East Bank, it's all problems we have, everybody. As well as you said, if we have folks that's hurting everywhere. So with that, the message I'm sure is loud and clear to our Washington delegation, and we'll see where we go. Again, thank you, and I yield.
I guess I'll wrap it up.
Thank you.
So I think Mr. Champagne said it best. We have FEMA, unelected bureaucrats basically running our lives. And Ms. LaFrance added to that even congressmen, members, and senators at the federal level can't even get FEMA to listen to them. How does employees, bureaucrats, nobody's holding them accountable? And this is what we're trying to get back to the table, get them back there, hold them accountable, and because it's pricing us out either with flood insurance, or in some cases, if your home is 51% destroyed, you basically cannot rebuild. It's not physically possible. And this is our home. I mean, it's not like we just chose to move here randomly after a hurricane. I mean, this is people's homes. We have to stand up. I'm glad to hear that President Hinckley's meeting with other parish presidents, and this is not a fight we're taking up by ourselves. Hopefully, we get them back to the table. Hopefully, our federal delegation is going to be involved, and we can get FEMA hold them to some accountability, and at least explain where the numbers came from, for goodness sakes. From my understanding, Congressman Scalise last year basically had a bill and was trying to get where their numbers for FEMA 2.0 came from, and they wouldn't give it to them. How do you not give that to a congressman, the number, 3 or 2 congressmember in the United States Congress, and they would not give it to them? How ridiculous is that? So this is a start. Hopefully we get other parishes involved and bring the fight to FEMA. I yield. Machines are open. Thank you. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
F, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a donation for the Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Department and to amend the 2024 General Fund Operating Revenue and Expenditure Budgets, Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Ms. McCarty. Any comments from the audience? This is a $7,000 donation for Homeland Security.
Hey, no, I just want to say, hey, nothing against going to the ball in Washington, D.C., or all elected officials. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I'm for that. I'm not against that.
Jeff, did we not vote on this last time? Because I thought the Chevron donation. I thought we voted on this.
This is something. This is, yeah, we voted on that.
Is this something different? Another one? Because I remember last meeting you stated that this was from Chevron.
No, that was for the a donation to EMS for a Lucas device.
Okay,
We've already
okay.
We've already passed that.
Okay, so this is something separate. All right. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Thank you for clarifying that, Jeff. Next item, please.
G, an ordinance to amend the 2024 Road Maintenance Fund Operating Revenue and Expenditure Budgets, Road Maintenance Public Right-of-Way Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. And just for clarification, this is coming from the Solid Waste Fund, not from the General Fund. Correct, Billy? No. Yeah. This is for trash cans, but coming from solid waste.
It's not trash cans.
Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
This is the DOT money.
Yeah, this is DOT money for an extra, for cutting the grass. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. Got lost. All right, any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Oh, hold on.
Where is it for parish-wide
They used to pay us for 4 cuts a year. They wouldn't increase the rate, so we got them to increase to at least one more cut. So that's $45,000 for that additional cut. Every state highway in the parish. Yeah, and one.
There we go.
All right, machines are open.
We only get paid by the state for only 4 cuts.
5 now, correct. 5 cuts annually.
And it's, what, 180,000?
It was 180, now they're adding 45 to that to make it 5 cuts.
So glad to be 10 foot tall for only 5 cuts.
Right now, you got to cut 5,000 a month.
Cutting grass for about 9 months, at least 9 months.
There's no doubt we cut way more than they pay us to cut, for sure.
Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
H, an ordinance to amend Section 223 of the Plaquemines Parish Code of Ordinances and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Mr. Kongovich?
How are we going to keep up with this?
For right now, your respective council member, eventually we need to come up with another policy, but this was a start. This was something I brought up a couple months ago, but said I would wait to after the internal audit report, and he basically stated we need policies throughout the parish for all employees, but kind of try and get everybody uniform. But for the time being, until we can either figure out a policy, this is a start.
Thanks.
Ms. McCarty.
So are you saying that the administrative assistant will no longer work at the pleasure of the council member? And if you have to take that person out of your office with you for something, you can't do that? They have to sit in that chair, even if they're not working and can't help the council member?
No, I've never
So what are we saying?
that there's 32 hours of the 40-hour week should be in a government building. And that's not necessarily the council member's office, but if, let's say, like today, Mr. Jurisich brought his assistant up for this meeting to take notes and everything. She's still in a government building doing work. It's to basically have, because when the public calls and expects to know where the council member or assistant is, we need to know, just like we need to know where all the employees are at any given time. We need to know if they're cutting grass, they're on Highway 23, not in some neighborhood. I mean, I'm sure Billy knows where all his people are at any given time. Keith knows where his directors are. I mean, it's just having some type of accountability of where these employees are.
I think as council members, we know where our assistants are, and they're not classified. They're unclassified people, so.
Okay. I mean, they still work for you, whatever your task that you assign them to. It's just
Yeah,
having them
I
where
always go
they.
back to when the bridge was first being built, and there were so many problems. We spent more time out there by the bridge than if we were required to sit in the office, we wouldn't have been able to address the issues. And that's where I'm coming from with this.
Okay.
You know, there are certain circumstances that sometimes require you to be out in the field. If we had a hurricane, I'm sure the council members that were down the road might need their assistants to be with them. So I'm just saying.
Yes, and that's why if parish is under federal, state, or parish declared emergency that limits access to government buildings, exceptions will be allowed as directed by a council member, which allows if we're under any type of emergency.
But I wasn't under an emergency for building the bridge. And so that's why I'm bringing up the alternative viewpoint.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Mr. Edwards.
I don't see anything with this, and even why I said office, if I have my administrative assistant working with me at Dave Van Poole, that's still considered being office.
Correct.
It's just that works. I don't,
correct. It's
I
a
don't
government
think
building,
office
you're
is
working.
necessarily defined to the physical location, but she's with me at the Dave Van Center, or she's with me going look at a problem with happening in the neighborhood, so she's still in office at that time because she's with me.
Hold on. Your mic's not on. All right.
So I'm just saying this is not strictly saying physical office as much as being accountable. I think it seemed like to me with this resolution trying to making sure that we can account for the work that our administrative assistant is doing. That's what I see.
It does say that 32 of 40 hours shall be worked in an official Plaquemines Parish government building. So if they're out at the pool with you solving problems, that's not in the building.
Yes, it is. It's owned by Plaquemines Parish government.
If they're out on the street trying to figure out where the potholes are, that's not in the building.
Well, that's why there's some leeway. I mean, 8 hours of every week, there's some leeway
But that
because of stuff like that. I mean,
And what if it takes longer? That's all I'm saying. It's too restrictive.
any other comments? Machines are open. Passes 6 yeses, 2 noes from Ms. McCarty and Mr. LaFrance. 6 to 2, 5, 7. Next item, please.
I, an ordinance to amend and as amended readopt Plaquemines Parish Code of Ordinances, Section 217, Rules for Transaction of Business Before the Council, Chapter 2, Rule 19A, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Champagne. And just for the public, what this does, y'all have noticed recently, instead of having parish president do updates, then public comment, council, then do the directors, this is just combining it into one officially called administration updates that way. Because a lot of times, some of the questions will be answered by the directors, so this is just combining it into one. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. We are going to defer J. Next item, please.
K, an ordinance to amend the 2024 Solid Waste Disposal Fund Operating Expenditure Budget Solid Waste District 1 Department and the Solid Waste District 2 Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Kognovich. And this is the one that's coming from the Solid Waste Department, not from the general fund. Any comments from the audience?
You purchasing new cans for
Both.
entire parish?
Yes, north and south solid waste, $27,000 for each north and south for the entire parish.
Everybody getting new cans?
Well, no. Not everybody get new cans, but we can replace some of the cans that are broken and everything.
Yeah, I have a can that only have one wheel on it, so some people ask me how can they get another can, and I told them just let the guy that pick up the garbage, but they said he'd come at 6 o'clock in the morning, so.
If you call the solid waste department, they should be able to get the address and come evaluate and give you a new can.
They'll bring it to us? Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
or Billy.
thanks, I'll let them know.
Correct.
So they don't have to pay for them.
Okay, I'll let them know that it's called solid waste.
Any other comments from the audience? Ms. Administration? Champagne, or Mr. Champagne?
Yeah, how much does a can cost? I was curious, an individual can?
Cost us $90. How much? $90 roughly.
I was just wondering how many cans we're getting for this, just curious.
I think this is like a couple of hundred cans. I don't have the exact
Thank you, I was just curious of the cost.
This is the second. We bought cans last year as well. And look, that's why we started the whole deal with the RV parks, about dumpsters and all of that. When every camper wants an RV, you run out of garbage cans fast.
And I will tell you, on the repair side, if something breaks, they'll give you the parts. I've had to.
Yeah, it's like a lifetime
They're very
warranty. That needs to be looked at as well. You got a lifetime warranty on these cans. It's no one would ever think that's the case with anything.
All right. Ms. McCarty?
Are we charging the citizens for another can?
When you get a new water meter, you get one can free. In the past, if you wanted additional cans, you could purchase them. That's all on hold right now because we've been running short on cans. And we didn't want everybody with a camper and an RV park to come buy a can.
So if they need a replacement because it's broke or
If the
something?
can's broken, we replace it for you at no charge.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Machines are open. Ms. McCarty? Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
L, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan, water treatment plant transfer switch project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
I offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jursich. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
M, a resolution authorizing and directing the parish president or his designee to do all things necessary and proper to provide assistance to the Plaquemines Community Development Group and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Offered by Mr. Champagne, second by myself. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do we have the CA in place?
Wait, hold on. All right, go ahead.
I know you're working on, I know that the legal department was working on it with Mike Boudreau to do the cook-off on August 17th. It was supposed to be just a standard standard CA that we use for other
all the
functions
other
like
events.
Seafood Fest, et cetera.
What this does gives us the authority to be able to do the CEA.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the same one we use for the other festivals here on the facility.
Any other comments? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
N, an ordinance to amend the 2024 General Fund Operating Expenditure Budget Buildings BC Government Complex Open Air Pavilion Department and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Offered by Mr. Champagne. Second by Reverend Edwards, and I will make an amendment for the fund. We got to change the fund. So on line 15, scratch out the general fund, unreserved, undesignated, and then we'll read from the fund balance designated for emergencies. Line 15, starting on line 15, we're crossing out general fund, unreserved, undesignated. So, and then, okay, 16. And then after fund balance, we're adding designated for emergencies. So it will now read from the fund balance designated for emergencies. That's, Kim's informing me that's just changes. So,
Just changes?
yes, that's just changes. Offer will change. Offered by Mr. Champagne. You still second, Mr. Everett? Reverend Edwards? All right. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Newsom.
Yeah, this is a new switch, correct?
Yes.
Something new, never had it before.
No. No.
In the future, can things like this we look at, here we are in the middle, and we're taking out the emergency fund in the middle of hurricane season. In the future, if these things are noted and needed, can we budget for these items? Because this is doing business like this, in my opinion, is bad business when we take that. We need to do a way better job on our budget, knowing what things we need and all that. And I know it's fixing to come around again. So, you know, we anyway, thank you.
Mr. Champagne.
You know, just to clarify, like Mr. Henry says, for the people, what this is a transfer switch for the multipurpose building back there in case the power goes out. It automatically will switch over to generator, so we don't have to send someone outside in the weather or something where it'll just switch over automatically. We got people that may be using that as a place to hold up while the storm hits or even after the storm recovery. So it's something I think is sorely needed. And as Mr. Newsom says, in the future we need to do a better job of looking at this. But again, in all fairness, I think we're doing a lot of discovery learning with this administration. You don't know you got a problem until you realize you got a problem. So, and I know that I've been talking to the administration about some of these things, and kind of that's what we're finding out. It's not, I don't think it's really negligence, just finding out, my God, we don't have this, let's get it now. So, and I thank the administration for moving forward with this. I yield.
Mr. Jursich.
Yes, I think, we need to do a better job too. Whenever we're going to generate a building, we need to have that transfer switch included in the cost of that project from this point forward, because I know we're adding transfer switches here and there. I mean, I don't think any generator should be installed without a transfer switch.
Mr. Newsom.
No, I agree, we do need it, but we need, again, it goes back to dollars where it's coming from, and I know rollovers, rollovers coming, we're gonna replace it. You know, this building's been there since a long time, before us sat on the council. And that's my only avenue, and I do agree, because we just had an issue with, in Orleans Parish when they just had somebody generator and somebody got injured on it. So I do agree with having the transfers, just like Mr. Juris said. So I guess that would be a situation where when the project goes out, if we put a generator,
Go ahead.
I do think we need, it like Mr. Champagne says, it is needed, but we kind of, I'm not going to speak anymore.
So this building doesn't have a generator, but if it's going to be used as a shelter,
Hold on, it doesn't have a generator?
the multipurpose building,
Listen, if you would.
this building doesn't have a generator, but to put this switch on the building, it'll be able to receive a generator during emergency for sheltering.
So this came to light during hurricane preparedness type stuff. If we're going to end up using the shelter for any emergency services, you're going to have to bring in a generator, and if you brought in a generator, then you would need a transfer switch. So they want to do the transfer switch, and then eventually that'll be set up if we ever get funding to do a permanent generator. Right now, the facility has no generator, no transfer switch. If we end up using it in the middle of hurricane season, that's all the things we'll have to scramble to do. So we're just trying to stay ahead of the game.
But
It was identified during hurricane
If
planning.
somebody has to come in and hook up a generator, what's the extra step of then just turning it on and manually? I get a transfer switch is normally where it's automatic, where it automatically switch over if a generator is hooked up.
We had to go through a process of cleaning up the panel because I won't name the organization that came in to manually hook up the generator during Hurricane Ida, really messed up the panel. So we're just trying to get ahead of that, where it's a whole lot easier to roll a generator in, plug it in, and go.
So, Mr. Champagne, do you want to defer this or move forward? I know we need to move forward because this is not just a request coming from the administration. This is a joint request coming from both the council and the administration. Because of the urgency, or it's like when the hurricane hits, you bring in the generator, it's a plug and play. You flip it on and it goes. Or you plug in the generator, and then if the electricity goes out, you're set up, it comes on automatically.
To give you a comparison, the Good News pump station, it's completely set up, everything's there. We could bring in a generator, plug it in, flip the switch, that's good to go. This building's not set up like that.
Mr. Kognovich.
I was, first question I was going to ask about open air pavilion. We should take open air out.
That's how it's explained in finance. They're going to change that for next year's budget, but the multipurpose pavilion on the budget line is called the open air pavilion because it used to be. That's going to be cleaned up next year.
I don't have a problem hooking it up because during a storm, if you bring in a generator, you're just renting a generator from a company who rents generators. Now you got to go look for an electrician, and ours might not be here. So just plugging it in is a lot better than me going play in that box, and I'm not doing that.
In the rain, in 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, again, what's the, we passed this, like, what's the turnaround on parts? Not going to be here tomorrow, I do understand.
It's about a 4 to 5 week lag time on the quote we'll probably go with.
Machines are open. Passes 8-0.
O will be deferred. P, a resolution authorizing Plaquemines Parish government to declare parcel 84,00500, the LSU Ag Center surplus property, and withdraw? Okay. Q, a resolution authorizing Plaquemines Parish government to declare parcel 1451734 located on Engineers Road surplus property and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurisic.
Offered by Mr. Jurisic. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Kognovich. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table?
Just a little explanation. This is a big metal building at the end of Engineers Road. just before you make that right turn to go over that little canal going into Jefferson Parish. It's an abandoned building. It's overgrown, and we have a gentleman that's interested in leasing the property and using it strictly as a storage facility. He's well aware that it's in the footprint of the Walker Road Bridge, and the bridge footprint will take over that location. He's aware of that. He's just looking for a place to lease for storage. Of course, this is declared surplus. It'll have to go through the bid process, and he's aware of that as well. We're just kind of putting it into commerce to lease it until that bridge is developed.
Any comments from the table? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Next item, please.
And approval of the minutes from the July 25th, 2024 regular meeting.
Offered by Mr. LaFrance, second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Table? Machines are open.
Councilmember Edwards. Thank you.
Next item, please.
11, new business, 11B, District 7 update, Councilmember LaFrance. Suzie Bayou dredging project, update on NOV levee construction, Myrtle Grove Phase 2 road, projects on District 7 roads throughout subdivisions.
Can it be withdrawn? Yes. Thank you.
C, District 3 update, infrastructure issues, drainage, sewage, and water.
So, I've talked to Billy over the last couple of weeks. We've now had water in the streets 3 times roughly over the last month and a half. One time got into houses. I have at least 2 spots that I'm aware of where lift station keeps going out in my district. That's causing sewer to back up. We have water issues down the road, East Bank this past week. I know talking to President Hinckley last week, we talked about getting with engineering, going through the projects for priority for infrastructure. And I think they're working on that to get with each individual council members. With rollover coming, I just ask everybody to be aware that our infrastructure is old. We need a lot of work. We need to focus on that. That is what the people need and deserve, is infrastructure. What? What? So, I mean, again, we just voted on transfer switch, which is a shelter. That, to me, that's infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, I also want to add critical services like grass cutting, stuff like that. So, again, we just need to be aware of that going forward over the next year. We're not always going to have rollover to fall back on. And again, that's just in my district that I'm aware of. I know down the road, y'all have water pressure issues, it seems like weekly. And this past weekend, you had water issues. So it's parish-wide. It's parish-wide that we have infrastructure issues. So that's all I got to say on that. I know you wanted to come comment on this? Yes, ma'am. I knew I had 1 or 2 residents that might come, so. Just state your name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Brandy Ware. I live at 213 Melvin, and that's in District 3. And my neighbor across the street is District 4. It's the crazy line that y'all redrew.
Not us.
For 20 plus years, we had problems with this, with sewage coming up in the street. And when that happens, we do not have toilets. We do not have showers. We cannot do laundry, dishes, anything. Other people, they worry about rain. They say, oh, what plants is it going to, destroy? I have to worry about how long am I not going to have a toilet for my family? How long can I not wash their clothes or bathe them? Well, it had gotten fixed. When Mr. Kirk Lapine got into office, they got it fixed. They built another pump station, I believe, down Oak Tree. Mm-hmm. And for years, it had been going good. Now, the past couple years, since they put in the turf at the high school, they connected it to the residential side, and I have been told that that goes into the drainage pipe, not the sewage pipe. But what's coming out of the sewage is water and sewer, so the pipes are broken. I know y'all know that. So I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. If it rains, there's sewer coming up in the street. Just on July 27th, it had rained minimal that morning. And then first thing you know, that evening, the sewage is just coming up. I had a little boy that's new to the neighborhood, moved in the apartments, riding his bike through it, and his mom's watching him and having a good time. I had to go tell her what that was. They didn't know that she was letting her little boy play in raw sewage. Our street is actually black from the sewage in that corner, and it is right where the kids get on the bus to go to school, so all that is on their shoes. So it's being tracked, sewage is being tracked all over in people's homes all across the parish. I just want to know, how quickly can we get something done that I could feel like I'm living like everybody else? I have a toilet. I don't want to feel like I have to go rent a portalette because it's going to be raining.
So, you want to answer?
We had a meeting with Infomark earlier this week, and they just spent about, I think it was, John said, maybe 6 weeks going throughout the entire parish, identifying all of the sewer lift stations, and they're going to be coming back. They're going to give us an itemized list of the worst damages to the ones. It's a 12-year plan, but what it sounds like, we need to put this Melvin Street at top of the list here, so we can do that. We'll let give Jeff your information, and we'll get with Infomark. We'll identify where that is on that list and what the problems are. So obviously, there must be a problem with the lift station at your house.
Like just on the 27th, what I was speaking of, when the little boy was riding his bike, and it was just sewage coming up. The rain was long over with. I contacted Mr. Chris, and he's like, somebody will be out there in a minute. And it took long enough for somebody to get to that lift station. They turned on a pump, and it suddenly went down. So it's the pump's not being worked properly also.
And that's what we were finding out when we were in that meeting this week.
And
so
next meeting, we're actually going to vote on $1.6 million, I think, now for Infomark. And some of that is for repairs to the water system and different things that we need. Most of it's to the water and sewer system. I mean, it's all going to Infomark. So we're about to be voting on stuff that will be repaired. I mean, but I know I talked to Jeff about it. I talked to Robert about your location last time, and he sent somebody out there. So, and like I said, I have one other location that every time it rains, it's the same thing. So, hopefully next meeting we might have a list of more information for you.
Well, I beg you all to vote for that to be done as a priority.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty miserable to live
Yes,
like
ma'am.
that.
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Ms. McCarty. Oh, sorry. You didn't get up quick enough.
Yeah. Look, talking about drainage, we have one in Phoenix right on Shayo Road. It stops maybe like 3 houses, but the sewage would come out. The toilet wouldn't flush. But the problem with that one, I said it before, that the rainwater, the drain water goes right down the sewage. And if Robert them could get a cover. They got covers that goes over there, a plastic cover, but they got metal ones. The metal ones better. If they get them covers also, when they get this money, to buy some covers to close some of those caps off. Because right now, the parish tractor hit that drain, and the cover is down in that 5-6 feet down in there.
Okay.
So, but we need to mark some of those drains also, so the tractors won't hit them. So.
Billy, you hear that?
Any other comments from the audience? Ms. McCarty?
I think it's a good time to mention that we had well, first I'll say that the 4 or 5 pumps in District 5 pump out all of Belle Chase with the exception of the one for Good News, which is adjacent to District 5 of Barrier Canal. And just in Fort St. Leon North also floods, just like Good News floods. But I discovered that the neighborhood was built a little too low and that the streets are made to be retainers, water retainers. It's unfortunate that that's the situation. In speaking with Jefferson Parish, Mr. Newsom, Mr. Witchers, myself, and 2 of our engineers went to meet with Marion Edwards, who's a council member in District 1 of Jefferson Parish, and their engineers. And we learned that their pumping system has been operating appropriately. But in the future, in the short future, we're going to be able to have our engineers and directors monitor when their pumps turn on because they're upgrading that right now. And it looks like they can work together because the larger population we have that applies for a grant, the better chance we have of getting a grant. And when they put in their SCADA system to monitor, we're going to look at what they're doing, but in the 2 parishes working together, we may be able to get the same remote monitoring system to turn on pumps from a grant. And those grants are coming up in September that we have to work on. So that could be further down the parish for all the districts. So I just wanted to let you know that we're working on other issues, other possibilities. Thank you.
You want to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, you went. Scott Rich.
I know how you feel. Every time it rains, I get calls from the Lighthouse Lodge. Every one of their toilets is overflowing, and we know the problems, and it's going to be a lot more money than $1 million, too.
Oh, I know.
I
But,
can guarantee you that.
all right. You can clear that off for me for the next meeting.
Okay.
Withdrawn, I guess, at this point. Next item.
D, District non-update, discussion about Highway 11. E, District 6 update, Inframark buildings.
Mr. Newsom.
Thank you. Mr. Markle, we spoke, sent an email, we spoke about this. We got Infomorg, we just passed ordinance a couple, with moving water billing, so we have 2 buildings. Spoke to you and myself, Mr. Morgan, we need to get together to have some, because there's going to be some funding required to fix these buildings and get them going. So whenever you get some time, we'd love to sit down and get us a path forward, and then invite any council or administration and to come and let's move a path forward that works for Plaquemines Parish and the employees.
We've identified 2 of them that we're moving on. They're eligible for some FEMA reimbursement funds for some of the damage from Ida. We already have our consultant working on the assessment. We're going to move forward with that. We'll talk some more about it, but we're on it.
Thank you. Withdraw that.
Well, Mr. Conrad.
Are they still right here in this building until and do we know where they're moving? Because it's easy for me right now, council day. I could go pay my bill, but I don't do online nothing. Cash or check, that's it for me.
They got a Dropbox right outside.
Yeah, no more cash. No more cash.
You can withdraw that also.
All right. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Congress, second by Mr. Champagne. Machines are open. Hey, 8-0 for Mr. Edwards. We have adjournment at 4:07 p.m.